Directorate of External Relations. Before starting off with the session, I request Dedipya to brief you all about what DOER is. Over to you, Dedipya.
DOER is Directorate of External Relations. DOER is a new strategic initiative at GITAM University. We basically have 4 key stakeholders, namely the alumni, research institutions, corporates, and the top universities. Among these 4, probably the most closest and the most important to us is the alumni community. So we have actually come up with an official alumni portal at GITAM. So please do visit alumni.gitam.edu and get yourself registered so that you can stay connected with the GITAM community. So let me just brief you about the upcoming events which we are planning ahead in this academic year. We basically have departmental webinars. The webinar which we are having now, the placement guide, is a departmental webinar. And we have many such webinars planned upcoming. And then we have alumni cricket match, which is going to be on 23rd and 24th of April. And we have Trailblazers. Trailblazers is basically an offline talk series wherein alumni come back on board to the campus and share their journeys and their experiences with our students. We actually had talk 1 in Hyderabad campus by Subhash Kakarla, and we'll have talk 2 soon in Vizag campus in the May of 2022. And then we have Visakhapatnam chapter launch event this summer, and we have homecoming. We all are really excited for homecoming as it's going to be a large event. Yes, so, and then we have Alumni Global Mixture. So Alumni Global Mixture is a monthly edition wherein alumni from different places across the globe come together on an online platform and have a casual chat with each other. So there's a formal intro about what DOER is.
That was really nice intro, Dedipya. So continuing with the event, the CSE department has been producing so many great talents till date, and we have 3 of them today for our event, Gearing Up for Placement. I take the pleasure to introduce our panelists of the event. First up, we have Ms. Anjali Sharma, who is currently working as Analyst at Morgan Stanley, who is a passed out of 2021 batch. In the second, we have Vijaya Manikanta, who is from the class of 2020, who is working as a software development engineer at Fortinet company. And the third speaker is Mr. Praveen Sai Sadasiva from the class of 2020, working as technology consultant at Microsoft. We are really happy to have you all on board for today's panel discussion. So how does it feel to coming back to GITAM?
Nostalgic?
Yes, indeed.
It's always an excitement to be back at GITAM, the place where we all started. Thanks for having me on board here.
Our pleasure.
Okay. Continuing with the agenda. The agenda of today's meeting is we'll have a discussion for 1 hour with the speakers, and towards the end of the session, we'll have Q&A. So please feel free to drop your questions in the chat box. We'll get them answered by the speakers live towards the end of the session.
Yeah, so I know all our students are really excited for the session today. So over to the panelists now. So we would love to hear from you about how were your experiences at GITAM and your career path, about how you have landed at the company you are presently working at. Anjali, would you like to share?
Absolutely. It's an honor to be back and talk about my career path, from how it started at GITAM to where I landed as an analyst at Morgan Stanley. And it's wonderful talking with all of you here. A little nervous, but it feels exciting, honestly. So where do I begin? I was just in your place when I started my journey at GITAM. Initially, I did not know what CSE was, what EEE was, what mechanical was. I was just given these options and I had to choose one. And that also was decided by my parents, honestly. So as I chose the CSC, apparently that was the upcoming boon. It had a lot of craze in the market, so we thought, okay, this would be beneficial in future. So as soon as I started in this path, initially it was very challenging for me. I would say that talking to people, meeting professors, understanding what the core part is of computer science. Usually I came from a CBSE background, so we did not have much knowledge about the coding part most of the times, because as comparatively to the ICSE curriculum, we were not aware of that much of technicality. So it was quite a bit challenging initially, but gradually I picked up the pace. I spoke to one of my colleagues who was very considerate in explaining me about what exactly this was. And I also remember a professor whose name was Vikas, who helped me get through this phase. I took, extra classes with him to get through my, the semesters, because it was getting really hard. However, because of my patience, I would say patience, and also understanding that it's all right that you do not know it, but there are people who can help you with it if you are ready to accept their opinions or whatever they're teaching, and understand those concepts and make sure that you practice them regularly, so that they know that you're working really very hard towards achieving what you want to, and making sure that you're going to be a part of something different, that you're going to be part of something different. I mean, you're going to create a difference among the people that you're now studying with. So I would say it began by understanding the concepts of C, and then there came data structures, and then there was C++. Okay, the list is endless, but it was that one language that I had to focus on, and that was Python. And also I would say because of the professors that I met, my journey became more I would say productive, and also it helped me quite a few challenging phases too, after I participated in many hackathons, and also understood the principle behind what we are actually doing, rather than just bugging up the concepts. So that was the critical moment that you had to change, that you had to stand out from the crowd. So I think that really helped me. And also I would say so as the years went by, as I came to the third year of my engineering, and we know that the lockdown started just then, it became quite difficult, I would tell you, because it was completely online. You did not understand what the other person was saying actually. They used to just roll out the PPT, explain us what is written in it, and they expected that we would understand. So that was completely out of what we have experienced up until third year. So during the third year, I did feel a bit left out, I would say, left out from friends, from the concepts that were being taught during our engineering. However, it was the online platforms that really helped me, like Leet Code helped me, Hacker Rank helped me, also I would say Hacker Earth. So I used to give a couple of tests on Hacker Earth and understand those concepts, those areas, so that you can repeat what you've just read throughout all the 3 years, and made sure that you understood the fundamental concepts of each topic, rather than just looking at the problem, or rather than just looking at the logic and understanding, okay, this is something that, okay, this is the answer, and then just trying it out on your own. But instead, rather creating a different creative approach in fixing out those problems, in understanding what exactly is it trying to tell you, what exactly is it expecting you to do, what exactly is it expecting you to solve, what is the problem. So I think understanding that took a lot of practice, but it was possible. It was not impossible. It took a lot of practice, but it was definitely possible. During my initial placement phase, I would completely be honest with all you guys. It was very challenging, very challenging. Everybody was just so tensed and so anxious about getting placed, because since it was COVID, we had no resources, no knowledge of what was happening in the world, what was happening in the college, what exactly, what is the process actually. So, and as we came across these placements that you have to start, you have to give tests, you have to give interviews. So that was a very challenging part, but also it was very rewarding in the end, I will tell you that. But before that, let me tell you how I just went through that phase. It was just a how do I say this? It was just a feather flew away just in front of me, like a wind. So I tried understanding what was happening with me, and also made sure that I'm keeping my toes on the concepts that we have been studying throughout the 4 years, rather than understanding, oh my God, there are so many subjects to learn and I'm not understanding which part do I choose, where should I go. Rather, just focusing on the areas that you wish you would want to achieve, the problems that you would want to solve, and choosing the programming languages, choosing those kind of products to work with that will help you solve that problem. And also, I would say after giving a couple of tests, companies tests, I realized a very minute thing, that the more you think that they are testing you, it's more about you are testing your capability. It's not about they are hiring you. It's about how much you've come, how far you've achieved, and how much you can learn once you get into that company. So that was the idea that I had. And also, I would say that it's all right to think that what if you can't crack that interview? What if I am not able to get any of the coding technicalities, or probably what am I doing with life? So all these questions are completely natural. Yes, only Python is sufficient to get through the placement. It's about which language you're comfortable in, and you have that flexibility to choose. You will be asked which language do you want, or which language are you aware of, only the basic part of it. If you're aware of Python, they would appreciate it and they would ask you questions on it, just to test if you know the language or not. If you're ready to work on it, once you have been acquainted with Python's libraries or Python training once you get into a company, or Python projects, like mini projects that you do during your 3rd year or 4th year. So based on that, they would test your skill on that language. So it's not about how many languages you learn, it's about how fluent you are even with one language. So that was important. So and also I would say, to continue, so as I started giving my tests, yeah, I don't want to take up so much time. So as I started giving these tests, I realized that it was about testing your capability. You keep practicing all the analytical problems, because that's just you're just training your mind how efficient you can be, rather than thinking of it, oh my God, this is the company's test, oh my God, this is the company's interview, then we have to do it. It can be a discussion with the panel, whoever is interviewing you. It can be a good discussion that you know these languages and this is why you should hire me, because I can provide this to the team and I can bring this to the table that will help the company grow and personal goals as well. So if you negotiate in that way, that is why you will stand out from the crowd. if you let them know that these are what your skill set is, and this is what will be helpful in your company because your company needs it. So in that way, being very assertive, being very confident about your skill sets, you present it that way, I'm sure you're going to just rock the interview. I think that was the skill that I learned after giving many interviews. Many. I have given many interviews. Honestly, I was not settling for less. I knew that TCS, Accenture, Cognizant were amazing companies. Had no doubt in it. But I knew that something else was meant for me, and I knew that I could work hard, and and it's not about working hard also. It's about how smart you can play with those skills, and how perfectly you can market yourself, how perfectly you can sell yourself to the other person, and they should know, oh my god, this is the person who I want to work with in my company. And I think he will be an asset to our team. So I think you should, that's how they will hire you. So you should present that about yourself. So that's how I did when I applied to Morgan Stanley. I actually thank you. So I actually went through a vendor. So Wiley was a vendor who was hiring at that time, and as soon as I cracked its interview, it had clients like Morgan Stanley, JP Morgan, and many other banks, international banks like Banks of America, and also State Street. So I got Morgan Stanley as the first company who was ready to hire me because I performed well in my internship, Wiley internship. And they took a couple of more interviews, technical interviews, and HR rounds, which analyzed that I was a best fit for their team. So I think I don't want you guys to lose hope if you have cracked so many interviews. It's just, you're just creating an experience. You're supposed to need a couple of skills probably in future, so it's making you ready so that you keep giving interviews, you keep giving tests, so that way you become acquainted with the pattern, with the knowledge, with the right amount of attitude that you need to show the other person, the interviewee. And I think you guys gonna just rock. Thanks. I think that's about it.
Thank you, Anjali. That was a really whole a lot of journey you had.
Thank you, love. Thank you.
So as Anjali mentioned, first you should develop your fundamentals and then you should lay the foundation on them. So yes, Manikanta, would you like to share next?
Yeah, sure. Am I audible? My voice is clear? Yeah, cool. First, thank you, team, for inviting me for this. I am really excited to see young GITAM talent here, and I hope it will help them a bit to choose their career to move forward. Yeah, let me go into the topic. And before starting, I just want to uh, uh, emphasize that, I mean, whatever I'm sharing, it's like my perspective and it's my opinion on how I see the things. So it's not like, I mean, I won't say that this is a particular way because I mean, it changes with person. So I just want to make sure that I'm sharing my perspective on the way I have seen things while progressing in life. Okay, cool. So if you say my journey at GITAM, I would say it's really fun. It's really exciting and fun. I'm actually a hostler in GITAM, so I took CSC. It's not like, I mean, I'm actually a physics guy. I love physics, and I mean, I spent most of my time with CV Raman or HC Verma books. But yeah, I chose CSC because my goals at that point are different. But yeah, as soon as I choose CSC, someone has said me that okay, coding is a backbone of CA. I mean, for every computer science student, and I am from a state background, so I don't know anything about it. I mean, yeah, I believe the people here with the state code will only focus on IIT and IIT or whatever it is. So yeah, I mean, I actually took a small crash course on C before coming to GITAM, just to know what is really coding. Yeah. So as soon as when I entered GITAM, I spent my complete first year on coding because I don't know. I mean, I have fallen in love with it. So I just want to explore as much as I can. So I always used to bug my friends to, start hacker rank, code chef, elite code. Um, Basically, if you ask me as a Gitamite, how you really know these kind of coding platforms exist? I would like to share like how I really know about these things. And to be frank, at that time, I'm really poor at using internet. And I mean, I don't really use YouTube or Facebook or whatever it is during my first year when I joined GitHub. So the main resource point for me in GitHub at that time is Gusak. So I still remember in very few days after I joined GitHub, I went to Gusak. Uh, my seniors have said that there are some webinars, and also that day there are 8 people who actually give various presentations, and that is the point, guys. I mean, I really loved that presentations, and they're awesome, like skills, ideas, and they also explain all the stuff and research areas that are going on GitHub in Gusak. So that is the starting point. I started meeting seniors who really working in different areas. See, guys, whenever you join a college, I mean, and you are going to start something, you don't really know what is there. I mean, basically, everyone here will start with exploration phase. So even I don't know really what to do as a CSC student. So I took help of Kusak and all the seniors. I'm really delighted. Like I met them, and I got time to discuss all their work, and I got so much knowledge on various domains. And yeah, I mean, as I'm already in love with coding, I met our senior called Subham. Actually, he's an awesome coder. So that's how, like, he used to help me. He used to share resources with few bunch of juniors, and entirely if you say what is there in the first year life, it's coding. That's it. I just want to say that I completely spent day and night coding. Even you don't believe, but I used to, you know, like think different algorithms actually even during classes, because I mean, I was unable to do anything till I cracked a logic. So I enjoyed it. So once I came to second year, uh, then I was doing coding, but I just feel like I have to choose something. That is the point where I have to choose something, because coding is just like an essential component in my journey. But what is the goal? Like I have to choose something, right? So basically in second year, based on some real world instance which I have seen in Facebook, I actually decided to take cybersecurity. It's a very interesting career. uh, but I just want to share a few points here. So choosing a domain is very tough for every student. Every student here, they really don't know whether they have to choose AI, cyber security, data science, data analytics, big data, IoT, app security, or something. I mean, there are various domains, and basically, I believe at least 90% of people here will have that question, like, how can we really choose a domain? Can we choose it because it is famous? Can we choose it because we can earn money through that domain? Can we choose it because it don't have coding? So I believe these are the questions which everyone will have. And yeah, I mean, no one can really answer to this, because end of the day, it's your career. I mean, whatever you choose, you have to stick to it for, I mean, at least for next 40 or 50 years, right? So that is the ideal case. But in my case, if you say that why you choose cybersecurity, first thing is like, I don't know. I mean, I was in love with it. Second thing is, my motto is to help people with my knowledge. Basically, there are so many people, even so many countries, like so many companies being affected with security. And whatever I learn, if I can really like use it to help these people, to help these companies, countries, then I feel that like there's a worth for my life. Otherwise, I mean, like all the like 7 billion people, it's like, graduating from a college, doing job, maybe going for masters or like doing 9 to 5 job and marriage and so, I mean, this is just a how life cycle goes. But what is the significance of myself in this world? Like if I am unable to help anyone with all the knowledge I acquired all these years. So I was really fond of it, and I want to help people to be secure, say secure lifestyle and all. So that is the reason. At that point, really, I don't care whether I get money. Even see that time, my mindset is like I don't really care if I don't get a job in cybersecurity. And trust me, guys, that time I got a minimal support in cybersecurity. When I spoke with anyone regarding cybersecurity, people are like, no, no, don't go to cybersecurity because you might do some mistake and you will end up in jail, or you will end up committing cyber crimes unknowingly, and you will have pay penalty. I have found lots of opposing, and I don't have a person. I mean, that time, frankly, I don't know anyone who can guide me, because it's not something that we can randomly learn and master it. We need someone to guide. Uh, so I would say it's really a head trick, and there are almost 90% of people used to scare me, and I haven't got any kind of support. But I mean, see, that's the point or turning point in life, I would say. If that day I left cybersecurity, then today I am not what I am, right? I am currently in research and development sector in cybersecurity, got an opportunity like to help many companies, to be secure. So that's what I want to say. Everyone here, please don't like, you can listen to other opinions, but please don't depend on other opinions or what other people say to you or look to you. Because see, you are the only person, I mean, who knows about you. Like I know about myself, right? Here really, if you ask anyone that like what I am, no one really know. So my suggestion, it's very important in life. At your stage, choose a domain. I see, I mean, this is very important thing, guys. Most of the people, see, I'm not talking in terms of technical. Some people might be very good at maybe management skills or whatever it is. I'm not talking in terms of technical, but my suggestion is don't end up spending more time in choosing a domain. If you're I mean, if you're interested in something, just try it, and uh, try to wrap the things and choose the domain. I would say don't make mistakes in doing it, but you should be very concise on your decisions actually. uh, that is one important thing I want to share, because I personally experienced very uh, bad circumstances in it. So I would suggest everyone here to choose it. Yeah. So moving forward, I started cybersecurity with no support. Then, right, whenever we are alone, we always pull our friends. I just pull my friend to, okay, join me in learning cybersecurity. We started it somehow, some YouTube and all. We cannot afford money at that point of time to learn cybersecurity. So we used to prefer open source resources. Then another important point is here, my life has turned because of another senior here. He's a IT person. His name is Srikanth. See, guys, why I'm emphasizing these points is you will definitely have all the resources around you. The only point is to find them. It's so if I was unable to find that senior today, even I might not be this much good in terms of domain knowledge and cybersecurity. See, I'm saying, I mean, actually, the faculty in GITAM are really supportive, very helpful. But there are still a few students who might be scared of them. Like, I mean, they may not be. I would suggest you should be very free with faculty, discuss your ideas, thoughts. Like, the faculty are always supportive. But at early stages in first year or in second year, it might be too early to maintain that relationships with faculty. In that case, I would suggest you to search your seniors who are aligned with your ideas. So I really found him, and I have expressed him all my goals. He have given me all the resources, supported me, guided me. Even now, guys, you don't really believe, but even now he always support me when I have any I mean, when I require any guidance. So please, use this all. See, college is not about, attending classes or, it's not like that. You have to find the hidden gems in the college. As here, I think I have mentioned many things, right? So you have to find all these hidden gems. GITAM is, we are fortunate that, GITAM has these kind of hidden gems. I personally know many of my friends who really unable to find resources, or, at least have that opportunity to know what is really happening in the companies or industries, or make such a good connections, and, they're just settling for low packages with a congested lifestyle, even though they had so much skill set. So I please request, to have that, I mean, spend time to find resources in GITAM. It might be a person, it might be a faculty, it might be a event like this, and utilize this as a second years mostly. And yeah, so then it goes. So from second year, I continued cybersecurity, third year cybersecurity, fourth year cybersecurity. So basically, there's nothing in my college life except cybersecurity. To be frank, there is nothing. And yeah, coding obviously. Uh, but yeah, when I came to, I mean, in second year, fortunately with the help of my faculties, I also met seniors who got a job in Microsoft, and they suggested me like intensives play a significant role. I also want to emphasize, guys, basically many people, if you say internships, second years don't know what is internships, and third years mostly try to go for internships which they pay instead of they getting paid. So I want to also emphasize that internship is very important. Try to get an even it's a free internship. I mean, if the company say they won't pay you anything, but if you feel that the project which they gave is more interesting, just go for it. Because the main aim of an internship is to gain practical experience, like how we product life cycle works, right? So I don't really think, I mean, most of the students are aware of high corporate life works. Let's say there is a product that is being started, how it life cycle goes, how really futures go in, how they release the products. So internship is the only chance for you guys to know how companies work. So if you can find good internships, that will at least enlighten you to understand your skill back when it comes to companies. Like how can you fill your skill back? You can work on yourself and you can be ready for placements. So my suggestion is, if possible, do internships in second year, summer and third year, summer. I mean, just again, if it is possible, and also if you are able to get a very good internships which you are not paying, but at least you should get in good companies who can offer you some uh, good products to work on. Again, I'm saying it will be very hard to get internships, but it's really important to get one. And I also want to share my journey on how I got my third year internship specifically, because again, I'm emphasizing how we can use the resources in GITAM, guys. Again, so GITAM MBA people have conducted a event uh, that is called CHRO Conclave. I don't know is it a sequential event or that happened only that particular year, but you don't really believe me, that event has changed my life. Yeah. So basically in that event, it's basically about a group of chief HRs that will come to GITAM, uh, and they will, share their thoughts, and they will share about how industry works, like what are the expectations and what are the current problems that industry is facing and all. So that is how typically the session went. And after that, 4 to 5, we have a session like the same interactive session now, how we are having to talk with HRs. Well, just imagine if you have a chance to talk with all 40 to 50 HRs, chief HRs. Just imagine like the opportunity GITAM has created for me. Okay, I mean, I was really lucky to identify and like attend that event. So in that event, I actually met Fortinet chief HR Ranjit sir. So it has turned my life, guys. From that day onwards, I am requesting him continuously to give me an internship opportunity, because Fortinet, being a cybersecurity company, getting internship directly will help me a lot, right? So see here again, as I said, there will always be hidden gems. It's all about finding them and utilizing it. Okay. So I almost tried 9 months continuously emailing him for an intensive opportunity, and finally in third year around March, they have given me 3 problem statements. I mean, in for me it's really tough because they 3 are practical problems which the company itself is trying to solve. So, but guys, believe me, I don't know how to solve it. They are hardcore OS programming. They are not our competitive programming and all. They are OS programming, and it's very hard. And to be frank, I worked 45 days on them, and I was 100% not available to attain complete code. Like they asked me to design steps and all and submit this, but still I got an interview. I'll say you reason, guys, how to handle these kind of scenarios when companies give you something which you are like, I mean, which is really too much for you. So on the day when during my interview for my internship, I explained them how I was able to process all those 3 problem statements and how are the various solutions I was thinking of. And I also pointed what are the disadvantages or what are the performance issues I'll get with each of the solution. And I just proved them how innovative I mean, I can think if they just give me a problem statement. So even though their initial expectation is that me being solve all 3 problems, I actually felt that they were able to understand how logical we are or how good the approaches are in solving them. So I was able to crack the opportunity to work with them as an intern. So that is actually a turning point for me because first thing, I was able to understand how a product based company works in and I got a chance to work on their devices in terms of security, and I was successfully able to, I mean, identify security issues and also able to I mean, submit minor codes for their product. So I mean, this is how you can get an opportunities, guys. So mainly I just want to share how, I mean, various ways you can get opportunities. And again, believe me, GitHub is like a hidden, there are so many hidden gems in GitHub. You have to find it. Yeah, so my third year internship is done. That time I haven't got any
Manikanta,
replacement. Sorry.
Manikanta, sorry to interrupt
Oh,
you.
sorry,
I
sorry. Yeah,
apologize for interrupting in
sorry.
between. So
Yeah,
we are
okay, okay,
actually
sorry.
running short of time. So can we just
Yeah,
proceed
yeah,
with the other speaker so that we actually
yeah.
have another set of questions planned for you?
Yeah, yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah, sorry guys. I have this. I mean, going too much. Yeah. Uh, I just want to conclude 1 to 2 sentence. Yeah. So finally, I got placed in TCS TCL. But later, this Fortinet has called me with a cybersecurity role which I was working for. So I just went to it, and it's really going good. So my just suggestion is, first thing, choose a domain which you really love it. Second thing, just work on it and utilize every opportunity around you. Yeah. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you so much, Manikanta. So domain plays an important role. We need to identify a domain, work accordingly to that.
Yeah, sure.
So yeah. So Praveen, would you add?
Yeah. First of all, thanks for having me here, and 40 minutes of two varied experiences, a lot of information for everyone to process. Uh, I would I would not go too much into technical stuff and all. You already heard those from the other 2 panelists. Um the main thing that I would like to tell all of you, those who are listening to me, is the life experiences that plays the most important role in whatever we are today and whatever we are going to be tomorrow. And Geetam has given me such experiences that I do not have words to express. I'm not just saying this because I got placed in a good company, getting out of Geetam. I'm saying this because I cherished every moment, uh, every day, whenever I come to the campus, interact with people, friends, faculty, staff, the other staff. I used to come in a bus, the bus drivers. So all of these things. So uh, it's been a amazing and varied experience, to be honest. And uh, my way of looking at life is a bit different, uh, uh, that I'm going to share. I look at every moment and every experience as a learning experience. When I come here today, after we finish this call, I would go back and sit and introspect, uh, that what I learned from this event that we are having today. If I did good, okay, what good did I do? If I did bad, okay, what bad did I do? How can I improve over that? So that's the fundamental that I use. That every experience is a learning experience, and there's no limit for learning. It's a lifelong learning process. Every day you learn something new. Every day you are better than what you were yesterday. That's what I believe. So coming to the experience on campus, again, it's uh, people do come from different backgrounds. My background was different. I I was a bit experienced for 2 to 3 years in all this computer science related stuff, and also it was a smooth transition for me from my 10th 12th and to the college years. And I was from a science background as well, so that was not a problem for me to transition to the college and all. But more than that, it's how you adjust yourself to the people around you, and how do you learn something from the people around you. How do you explore the opportunities that are available to you around? See, there are numerous opportunities that are available for you on campus, off campus, in your life, today, tomorrow, yesterday, everywhere. It's up to you how you step up to take that opportunity, grab those opportunities with open hands. And the faculty has been amazing support to me. Uh, One faculty is in the call. I just messaged him, Jitendra sir. Sir has been with me for almost 4 years. A lot of support, sitting down with me together. If I missed any class, sir used to ask, did you understand that you were not there yesterday? So amazing to know that someone really cares about you, even if it's a faculty or a student, or whether it's friends and all. So that was a great experience that I had on campus. uh, that's it. I do not want to share much about all these things, but I would like to say that it was great, great that I am, and I was and I am a part of GITAM, and always would be. It's an honor to keep coming back here, sharing my experiences with people. But I would like to hear more in terms of questions from whoever has joined. That would help me understand what people are looking for, and explain my experiences and any tips that I can give. So
Thank you so much for that, Praveen.
you can take over.
Yeah, seems like you had a very amazing journey throughout.
Of us, indeed, yes. So next up we have, if you can please brief about what clubs are you part of? Are you part of any technical clubs or non-technical clubs, and how useful were they to build your profile? Anjali, would you like to answer?
So, okay. So the thing about clubs is that you explore your interests and you take part in clubs because it would give you a certain experience that you were looking for from the university, rather than thinking that, okay, this is a technical internship, okay, this is a technical that I'm supposed to be a part in, rather than where my interests lie. So planning, organizing was something that I really liked. Leading teams. So I was a part of the organizing committee of Association of Computing Machinery, and I was also, I would say, a volunteer chair for national service scheme, because I really liked helping people, um, providing food, helping them study. So that's just what I wanted to improve in myself, just to do something for a social cause. And also, I would say, if anybody is interested in cultural clubs, in dancing, singing, basketball, anything, you can take up anything of your choice. But what you're trying to attain from that, that's really important, rather than just thinking that, okay, this is just for entertainment, okay, this is just that will help me, that will help me bunk my class, that will help me enjoy. That should not be a priority. So I think dancing and singing was always my favorite thing to do, so I was always a part of that. I taught dancing to many people, and I love making music. So I also helped a couple of people to help learn guitar. So that's something you really like, where your interest lie. You like helping people, you like creating a difference, you like building projects, building products. So you be a part of that team, you give speeches, you help them understand what your opinions are, what your ideas are, and make sure that you all are working together. So I think GITAM really provided a very good platform for me to embrace that interests of mine and make sure that I made complete use of it. So, yeah.
Really had a great experience at clubs at Geetham.
Yeah.
So those of you who have not been part of any club, I request you to join and explore them and get yourself involved.
Okay, going forward. So, as we are from CSE department, coding is considered as an integral part of getting during the graduation. So, yet many students find it very difficult to code, at their initial stages. So, how did you feel when you started to code at your first year or second year? Would you like to share about that?
Is it me that you're asking, Divya?
Anyone can give up. Maybe Praveen Sai.
I'll be happy to take, or you can take over, Praveen. Yeah.
I don't have any problem, so I'll answer that. See, the approach to I did hear this coding quote unquote a lot during my time before me, and it's still there. The only thing that I would like to say is, do not think that it's something different from you and something different from what you're doing every day. Okay, every the coding problem that you try to build a solution for is answering some problem in the world, something. uh, for an example, I got this question in my interview, that there are some n number of lights uh, on a street, and I need to design a program uh, that will switch them off automatically, and if any alternate light fails, the others should not get affected. Something similar, I do not remember that exactly. So uh, look at it at the way it's around you, it's in the world, and you will get a much better experience and understanding of what the problem is all about. The fundamental thing that you need to understand is the problem itself. When you cannot understand the problem, you cannot uh, derive or arrive at a solution for it. Concentrate on the problem, and the coding, just I would suggest, leave that. Leave that, not, don't take it too literally. Leave that means you have hundreds of languages today. uh, there's one new lang that I don't know whether you heard or not. Two friends have designed, called bhai lang. uh, it's common, it's a language that common people used to chat in Hindi, something like that. So there are the programming languages keeps on coming, The technologies keeps on improving and increasing, but the fundamental is what are you trying to solve? And if you have a clarity on what you're trying to solve, you can have innumerable ways to solve that. Need not be C, need not be C++, need not be Java, need not be Python. It can be a basic pen paper that you can do and solve that problem. That's the first thing that all of you need to remember, that try to understand what the problem is, and then when you're familiar with the problem, try to implement it the way you know. Only then you would understand what are your shortcomings, where can you improve, and then go for something that you do not know. If there are some concepts that I do not know that are required to solve this problem, you need to learn them and then implement them. But first understand, try to solve them with whatever you know, and then try to learn something new. That's it.
Sure, noted, Praveen Sai. So, so basically, we need to understand what the problem statement is going to be, try and analyze it, and then come up with a solution. There's no barrier on you need to learn this coding language first, and that whatever you feel free, you can start with any coding language with you are comfortable with. So,
Yeah, just a minute. Adding to that, see, the world has changed so much that no one cares whether you know one programming language or not, right? So it's kind of a multiverse kind of thing. So no one specifies that you need to know Python today, okay, or you need to know C today or C++ today. The only thing they look for is, can you solve this problem or not? And if you are able to solve this, can you solve it in the way that we want? That's it.
So the next question we have is, when did you guys actually started preparing for placements? Were there any preparation strategies you used or something like that? Anyone of you can take up this question.
Manikanta, would you like to take that up?
Sorry, I think I may not be best fit because I haven't prepared anything for placement in particular. I mean, in my opinion, placement is just to test what you did all these 3 years or 4 years, right? So, I mean, in my opinion, I haven't particularly prepared anything for placements, so that maybe others can comment.
Okay, so Anjali.
Okay. Placement strategy. Such a huge word. So it's not a strategy. It's the ability to market yourself, to tell the other person, okay, these are the skills I have and this is why you should hire me. So I think you have to develop that by um, watching interviews, basically. How do you tackle pressures? How stressful a situation can be, and what is the right approach? So it's more about your soft skills, because you can learn technical skills even later. But how you present yourself, the ability to grasp, uh, that is thinking on your feet, thinking quickly what is the right solution from these options, your decision making skills. So it's not just about preparing technically, okay, becoming proficient in every language or everything that you've put in your resume. It's that you have to be honest. Okay, these are the skills and these are the skills that I'm ready to learn if your company uh, would be accepting me in for the role in your company. So it's about as Praveen said, having the fundamental concepts on your tips, understanding why is this created, why is the other person asking me this question, what exactly is he trying to hear from me, what exactly why exactly are we being taught these languages, what are your goals with this, what are you trying to achieve by learning this. So these you have to make sure that you understand that about yourself. And also you can be master of one thing and be jack of all trades, and make sure, okay, I know everything bit by bit by bit, but I'm not a master of any of it. I'm not proficient in it. So rather than focusing on all the choices, all the options that you have, just make sure where your interests lie, okay, and make that as your commanding language, where you're very proficient in. The interviewer can ask you any question on that, and you will be ready to answer it, because you're honest that you've learned it and that you have practiced it so many times that you have the ability to answer any incoming question regarding that topic. So it's more about focusing on your strengths rather than focusing, oh my God, I do not know this and I need to prepare for this. No, it's not that. Some person can have good decision making skills. Some people can have good technical skills. It's important to balance both of them rather than thinking, oh my God, I do not know the technicality of coding. Oh my God, this is something that I won't be able to learn in this much amount of time. Rather than focusing how you can improve your strengths, or probably preparing for those that you think are your weaknesses, probably just reading about it, making sure that you understand it. Why do you fear it? Is it something that you think you're not able to understand? Why aren't you able to understand? Do you not have the logical thinking ability just like everybody else? You don't need to discourage yourself, but at least challenge yourself in achieving, in recovering all those weaknesses that you think would be a hurdle in your placement journey. Yeah, that's about it.
If I may, I would like to add something. If we have time.
Please, you're
Yeah,
welcome.
so, yeah, thank you. I like the word that Anjali said, that you need to market yourself. That's 100% true. That's because where in real life we market the products, but here we need to market the skills that we have. It's all about the story you tell. The story need not don't get me wrong, that's not a fictional story, that should be a real story about yourself. So it's all about the story you tell. I'll tell you an experience, my interview experience. I attended only one interview, and that was the best moment when I explored myself. The questions were such that, okay, it will throw you off guard, but how you recover from that moment, that's really important. I was asked, okay, tell me 5 products that not products, 5 technologies that Microsoft is working extensively right now. I said, okay, Microsoft works on Azure cloud. That's one. There are ERP systems. Then there's offices and all. And I said, okay, there's something like hardware that where Microsoft is going into, building a lot of Xboxes and all, HoloLens, this. And the interviewer said, okay, out of 5 things that I asked you and the answers that you gave me, 4 of them are wrong. What would you do? So I was quiet for 10 seconds. Then I politely asked, I'm so sorry, sir, that maybe I'm not updated with all those things that are going on. Few might be internal, few are exposed to the world, but I'm willing to learn whatever we are working on. That willingness, that acceptance that you don't know XYZ, and that willingness to learn is what's most important in today's world. um, Tech is a revolutionary thing, keeps on changing. Today you have something, tomorrow you have some other thing. You would be outdated if you are not willing to learn. So that's the number one thing that all the companies, I would say, definitely would look in the candidates that they are hiring is, are they adaptable to change? Managing change is biggest priorities of companies today, because today you have something, tomorrow you don't. That's one thing. And second thing is, are you your true and authentic self? If you are faking something that you're not, trust me, you might have fooled the interviewer, but you're fooling yourself as well. When you go to the company or do something, whatever it is, if you're not what you are, you not get to where you want to. So you need to be authentic, and all your answers should come from your heart. I mean, use your brain, should come from your heart. Think twice that whether whatever you're saying is true and you really mean that or not. That's really really important.
With you. Learning is a continuous process, and we should be able to adapt with the environment that is going on. So quickly moving towards Q&A. So we basically collected few questions from the students previously circulating a G form. So we are going to ask them. The first question is asked by Neha, and the question goes like, does CGPA matter to get a good placement?
I can
Anjali, would you
answer
like
that.
to?
If
Okay, yeah, sure.
anyone else is Anjali can
Please,
answer that,
please go
no
ahead,
problem.
Praveen. That's all right.
Yeah. Okay. Does CGPA matter in your campus placements? Yes, it does. I would never say no, because there are certain criteria that has to be met to enter a specific company. I'm not sure how and who decides that, but uh, there are cutoffs. For suppose a company wants uh, people above 9 or 8.5 or 8 as the minimum CGPA to enter their placement process. So CGPA does matter at campus when you're on placements and all, but please keep in mind that your CGPA is not the determining factor of your life. It can be see, your life is much more bigger than your CGPA, but at campus, yes, it does matter.
Okay, so thank you so much for answering that question, Praveen. So the next question is from Shanmuka. So as I'm a computer student, what is the main thing to possess after entering to the interview, like job skills or soft skills, good attitude, good communication, etc. If all are required, then can you please tell what will be the importance in percentage of each category? Importance of skills during your placement.
Okay, let me just take that one up. Um, so importance of skills. Okay.
I can answer if there's no problem, but sorry for stealing your this.
No, that's all
Anjali, you
right.
can go on. Yeah.
No, if you just go ahead, Praveen.
Yeah, I'm no, I can answer after you, no problem.
Please go ahead. Go ahead. That's all right.
Yeah. Yeah. The thing is, see, that's a really good question to ask. Uh, Technical skills, soft skills, both are really important. I cannot ever differentiate between them. If you're bad at one of them, I mean, you get only half the points that you the total you're getting. So I would like to call all this technical, not technical, the soft skills and all as power skills, um, because that is what you are exhibiting, and to show the opposite person that what you are all about, like leadership skills, your communication, how you manage all the stakeholders can be anyone in an interview room, it's you and the interviewer, and all these skills are really really important. And if you ask for the percentage, you cannot differentiate. If you're bad at one of them, obviously you're gonna lose somewhere or the other. You have to balance between these two. It's not like, see, some people might not be that good at technical aspect, but there's always a chance for your improvement, right? To learn new technologies. While soft skills is the way to present yourself. If you do not present yourself well, that's done and dusted there itself. That opportunity is lost. I would say you have to showcase what technical skills you have, and that you're willing to learn new technical skills if required, plus present yourself in a better way. uh, Communicate the story. Effective communication is what I would say. That power skills are really really important. So cannot differentiate, but I would weigh my opinion in towards this, the soft skills or power skills. 51-49.
We actually have a question for you, Praveen, in the chat. So, how did you crack your Microsoft interview? Is it on campus or off campus?
Yeah. That was an on-campus interview, the only interview that I attended, and it was really great. The people and the culture at Microsoft is really great. As I said, uh, there were difficult questions, technical questions. Few of them I was able to answer, few of them I wasn't. But the interviewer was such a nice person that he told, okay, if you cannot answer this, no problem, you can always learn it when you go back home. So that was a nice interview experience that I had, but do not expect that every person would be the same. Um, and there were difficult questions, personal questions, about my life, uh, what I am, how I am, and what are my opinions about some ABC things. They really test your personality, how you can live up to the standards of this world. That's important, not to the company, and not to, whether you're living up to yourself or not, whether you have that moral ethics to navigate your life, come what may. um, be it a situation where you have to choose between two different things, and you cannot, and that would jeopardize your entire life and career. Even those kind of questions would definitely be asked, and you need to be true to yourself, answer what you think is is best, and always, it's not a blind guess. You need to definitely have a rational explanation behind that, explaining why you chose this opportunity. uh, I would tell you a question that the interviewer asked me. He asked, okay, today you are sitting in an AC room, interviewing with me. I'm interviewing you. Sorry. Um Tomorrow morning you wake up, and you are a municipal worker who is cleaning the roads and the garbage. So that was the question that was asked to me. So I did not think even a second in answering that. I said, okay, this is what my life is all about, but I would definitely be happy, considering the fact that I'm contributing something to the society. If not changing this world, I'm at least contributing something to the society, that the garbage and all those stuff that's on the roads that are being cleaned by me, and I think it's a true contribution to the society. And without those workers and all, our roads and our cities would not look the way they are. So such kind of questions you should expect, which would determine your personality. And definitely they would try to throw you off guard, whether you are able to uh, sustain the amount of pressure they put you, because trust me that corporates are not an easy place to be. uh, there would be a lot of pressures from different stakeholders, and you need to manage everything. So those are a few things. But if the question, I'm sorry, I did not look at the chat. If the question is about technical stuff, yes, you can learn, present whatever you know. But if you're not familiar with every technology, that doesn't really matter. There should be that willingness and passion to learn the whatever technology and something like that. Yeah. Hope I answered it.
Yes, yes. And the next question is very specific to Manikanta. It goes like, how do I get started with cybersecurity? Can you please provide a clear overview on how I should start and priority wise what all to cover as a beginner? I am practicing on Try Hack Me, where I found a course for beginners. So tell me if I should continue that, or do you have any other approach? And how do I keep myself tested? What types of jobs are available in cybersecurity? And if there is a preference like web pen testing or critical hacking, etc., what should I go with? Thank you in advance. It was asked by Aditya Anshu.
Yeah.
That was a big question, and I'm sure Manikanta is excited to answer that question.
Yeah, I just want to, sorry guys, I'll just make it short. Sorry for the long time. So yeah, it's actually a very good question. And to make it more helpful to all, I'll just give 2 points which are more generic. Um, again, in my opinion or in my experience, it might be cybersecurity, AI, data science, cloud, blockchain, whatever technology it is. Starting from scratch, or let's say if you want to learn web development, starting from HTML, CSS, writing small programs is a traditional way of learning, which is not recommended in my opinion, because I have seen many students, they start HTML, CSS, they stop it. In data science, they again start with data pre-processing, they stop it. Again in AI, they start with some scikit-learn, they stop it. So my suggestion is, if you say cybersecurity, just uh, start it deeper. Just go into it and try to understand like what people do in that domain. Let's say like as a cybersecurity professional, uh, instead of learning cryptography or learning penetration testing, just to be precise, cybersecurity is a huge domain. It will have network security, web security, app security, I mean, IoT security, data security. Even now, we need blockchain security as well. I mean, that's a different thing. But as we had so much thing in all domains, my first suggestion is just to explore it. Don't learn it from scratch, explore it. And if you ask me what is the starting point, I would say that CEH is a very good starting point to learn at least what it is, and how it is. And if you are really comfort with it, uh, so there is nothing like roadmap to learn it. Learning should be based on requirement. Directly start with some cybersecurity problem statement, try to solve it, and trust me, by the time you solve the problem statement, you will be mastering all the concepts. Because the main aim of learning is not to know the concepts or something. The ability to know when to use which concepts. Let's say if you learn penetration testing, the ability to exploit based on the tech stack that is present in backend is something which is lagging in the market, and companies exactly want, uh, or I mean measure your skill of applying it, uh, than you having some certificates or doing courses or I mean this try hack me and stuff. So that is one suggestion. And yeah, I mean, if you have any more particular research areas, or I mean if you need help with some cybersecurity problem statements and all, yeah, just feel free to drop me a email with your thoughts. I will always be happy to I mean guide you through your journey of solving a real world problem statement. But my only recommendation is just start with a real world problem statement, and believe me, you will definitely love this kind of reading approach or like mastering a skill.
Thank
I
you so
hope that
much
answers
for
the question.
thank you so much for answering that, Manikanta.
Like,
So we got a question in the chat box to Anjali. So how you got placed in Morgan Stanley as an analyst, and what are the what are the rounds they have conducted for you, and what is your first interview experience?
Okay, thank you, whoever has asked me that. Um, I would say this role that I bagged at Morgan Stanley, this was the last interview that I went through. It was not my first. So I would say the process was quite long. It took me 3 months to complete my internship at Wiley. And how I got recruited in Wiley was by a couple of aptitude tests and technical rounds. So I had 2 aptitude tests and 2 technical rounds, which went really very well. And finally, after completing my internship at Wiley, I was seen by one of its client, that is Morgan Stanley. They saw my performance. They saw how well I was performing, and they thought, okay, let's talk to her. Let's interview her. Let's see what her capability is. So they contacted Wiley, and the Wiley team has told me that, okay, so this is something that you have to go through. This is the interview. These are the rounds that they will conduct, and it's up to you how you present yourself, how do you showcase your skill sets so that they can hire you. So it was not about how much I've learned at that time. It was more about what my purpose was. Why should I give an interview to them? Because I've already cracked so many interviews. Sorry, I could not crack any of the interviews. How am I so sure that this would be, successful? So I was not discouraged, but I was actually challenging myself. How will I do it? What are the other things that I can showcase to them? What were the things that I could not do it during my interviews that I've already given? And it's all right to embrace your weaknesses. It's completely all right. That's what shows that you're a normal human being. Okay, everybody's good at something. Some people are good at something, some people are don't. They're good at something, and these people are don't. So I think embracing that, and like Praveen said, it's all right to tell them that okay, I am not aware of this, but I'm definitely willing to learn at your company if you're providing me that. So it'll be a wonderful opportunity for me. So I just went through all the basic concepts, and I first understood the role, what I will be doing, what exactly the job description is. Am I willing to work there in that role? So you have to think about future also, not just about acquiring a job, but what you will be doing once you're recruited in that company. So it was also about understanding what the company's culture is. So how much they're interviewing me, it's also about you interviewing them, analyzing if you can be well suited in that kind of environment. And it's important to be confident in every aspect that you present, even if you do not know something, even if you know something. So my role was mostly related to data analytics, so and business analytics. So I had to work on my communication skills, speak to stakeholders, code, especially that was in Python, and also use a couple of data visualization tools, because I really liked the way we analyze data and then we bring results. So that was used by Power BI, and also a couple of different platforms actually. So mostly it was Power BI and Tableau. So that was something I was very well acquainted with. I was confident also because I was working at Wiley with these languages and frameworks. So it made me easy to understand bits and pieces of this, rather than thinking, oh my God, what if they ask me a complex question in this program, and what if I'm not able to answer? Rather than just understanding, okay, basic concepts, these can be used to solve the problem. Even if they don't, we have other steps as well. So it's completely all right if you do not know a solution to that problem. It's just that you understand what it's trying to ask you. You understand what solution are you trying to get from that. So and making sure that okay, I know data analytics, okay, I know machine learning, okay, and even if we use these kind of logistic regression or any other techniques, we can get the solution. So that is having idea of that is very important. So I presented that to the team, and also I had to crack a couple of technical rounds. So that was mostly analyzing data and showing them what are the trends, and how is the cycle going to be in how, what is the forecast. So that was something that I was really very well acquainted with. I could not answer a couple of questions, I'll be very honest about that, but I embraced it. I told them, okay, I am not aware of this, however I can bring my head into this, and I will let you know once I get selected, and I will bring you the answer once once we again have this chat. So that's something, making the other person understand that you're willing to learn, and also you're willing to commit to that thing, rather than just giving your word, okay, I will do it, rather than showing them, okay, you make sure that I will show you this once I get selected to this, and prove you wrong. So I think that was something I really liked. I really loved the atmosphere while I was interviewing, and also how responsive, how very accepting they were with me. uh, at that moment I realized scores were not important at all. It was just about how well you knew what you knew, and presenting that to them, making sure that they understand what you're trying to say, see you as a honest, I would say ethical, and also embracing change. So I think they saw that in me, and that's what impacts that's what influences the decision to hire you. So it's more about, the soft skills that you present rather than the technical skills. So yeah, I would say that, yeah. That's about it.
Thank you so much for sharing that. So I guess it's a big process, we need to have good patience to get through all the rounds and get selected.
Yep.
We all know that professional networking is very powerful tool these days. So how did you guys use this tool of networking throughout the process of your placement?
Honestly, for me, LinkedIn played most of the part. It was very easy for me to understand who is recruiting me, and know what is their background. Oh my god, okay, he's a technical recruiter and he has these many years of experience, so I should be cautious, I should be prepared. I mean, he might ask a couple of questions. You have to frame yourself with those questions, you have to pre-plan those questions, understand what if I'm the interviewer and I'm asking somebody else these questions, what will I ask. So that's something you have to do it within yourself, and make sure that you're aware of. I mean, you should be okay, bring it on, I can take upon it. I mean, I can answer your questions. So you should have that kind of ability, and I'm sure that's very easy to adapt once you once you start experience that phase.
Being said, I request Ashita to just drop down the speaker's LinkedIn handle so that all of you can connect with them.
Let me just drop mine first. This will probably help. Yeah.
Praveen and Manikanta, you two can also drop your LinkedIn profiles. Yeah, sure.
Can someone do it for me? I'm from my backup laptop and Zoom is not working properly. Sorry for the trouble.
Sure. Vijaya, I think you can continue with the next question.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so the next question is, how is the transition from being a student to being an employee? Praveen, would you like to take that up?
Yes, definitely. For me, it was really great. Uh, they treated me like I'm a small child. Uh, that's the case with Microsoft. They do pamper the, the university hires a lot of new stuff. Explore the company, people. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to go to the office, but it did feel a bit different. But when you have people around you who can help you, it's always great. That's what matters the most, rather than the buildings, all those amenities and all. So initially, I did have a few thoughts in my mind and all this nightmares kind of thing. Oh, how am I going to fare there, and what am I going to do? Because I'm not familiar with whatever things are going on, because all those things were pretty new to me. So you need to understand one thing, that it would definitely take time for few, um, probably less time for few, more time for few average, but you need to learn what's there and go with the flow. That's what I would suggest. You would definitely have doubts in your mind whether I could perform or not. Even I was having those doubts, whether I would work well here, or whether someone would say, hey, don't do that, don't do this. Someone would shout at me. All those things were there, but there were always people to support me whenever I required their help. Uh, it was great. You would have obstacles, for sure. There are possibilities, but you need to have that grit to overcome that as well. And do not always think about what's going to happen if I don't do this or don't do that. Think about what's there in your control right now, whether you can do this thing. If you cannot do this, okay, how can I approach someone, or whom can I approach, or what resources can I utilize? Because today internet is very vast. You can have almost answers for everything. uh, you have people around you. Learn from their experiences as well. You have people working in the same role as you are. You can learn from them, talk to them. The more wider and stronger network you build, the more progressive your career would be. I would say that 100%, because when you talk to different people, they share the different experiences from which you can learn. And you most importantly, you at least get an idea of what to do or what not to. uh, so that's the most important thing. Get whatever help you can get from people around you, whoever it is. Please do not hesitate to talk. Talking is the most important thing to a successful transition from your university to the corporate world.
Getting out of the crowd and exploring different things is what matters. Okay, so thank
That's
you
right.
so much, Anjali, Praveen, and Vijay Manikanta. This would mostly be the end of the session, but we actually need some feedback from the attendees today about how the session went. So we'll quickly just launch a poll. So guys, feel free to answer the questions.
I can answer for myself.
Please.
The most important thing while people are giving feedback is that feedback should be an honest one. If you're happy with the discussion, you say you're happy. If you're not, you should have that, what we call, whatever the word is, you should be able to say no, because that would help not only the management and all, but me and the other, I hope the other panelists feel the same as well, to improve ourselves. So honesty is what we expect.
I would just like to add to the point that Shifa just mentioned, the mistakes that you've made, so that it will help you analyze which one is the right thing to do. I remember my couple of mistakes actually. I was going with the flow. That is not supposed to happen, honestly, because when you're going with the flow, you do not have any direction. It's important that you get a direction, understand what fits well, and stand on your ground so that no one can fluctuate you, or nobody can tell you you're wrong. You stand up on your own skills that you possess. You know that these are the experiences who made you the person you are right now. Embrace that, embrace your weaknesses and your strengths, and keep working on your skills. Yeah, for your own benefit. I mean, obviously everybody's dreaming of bagging a job, becoming an entrepreneur, or doing or accomplishing great things. And to do that, you need to have a couple of soft skills first, like patience. Praveen mentioned patience, communicating skills, networking skills are so important that if you just ask somebody, okay, how do I proceed from this, what are the skills, nobody would tell you. Why? Because you have to open up first. You have to make a connection, not just to make a connection, but you have to mean it also. So if you're just connecting with somebody just to create a wide network, oh my god, now I'll speak to everybody, now I will learn so many things, you should also think from a perspective, what can I give to somebody else with the knowledge that I have attained. Make sure the other person knows, okay, you're genuinely interested in them, genuinely want to know what experiences they have come across, or what mistakes that they have learned from their past, and analyzing them and trying to figure that out by yourself, analyzing all the options and try to figure out what's best for you. I think that is important. Yeah, that's about it.
All the panelists and also the students present here to get registered themselves on the alumni portal, which is recently launched. We recently have achieved 1,000 registrations. Please take a couple of minutes and do register yourself. And on that note, I request all of you to turn on your cameras so that we can take a picture and keep it as a memory for this evening. We would love to see your faces. Please do turn on your cameras. The vote of thanks. So I thank DOER for giving us this opportunity to host, and also the HOD ma'am, Sirisha ma'am, for supporting us throughout, and our faculty champions, Jitendra sir, Srinivas sir, and Raja Reddy sir, and also all the post-student coordinators, and especially the guests today, Mr. Praveen Sai and Vijaya Manikanta, and also Anjali, for
making
having
your
the
time for us.
yeah.
in
And
these
also
battles.
all the students who have been patiently listening to us and encouraging us throughout. So yeah, this makes the end. It was really a great session with you all.
It was a great
Thank you
session.
for this
Thank you
opportunity.
so much,
Thank you so
Amita,
much.
Diditya, and everybody who contributed to this. And we would love to be a part of more upcoming events. It's been great. It's been pleasure talking to you and sharing all our experiences. You can please reach out to all of us, our your alumni, and we'll be happy to answer any of your queries or help you in any of the placement journey, or even just randomly if you want to talk, you can just text us up. Yeah.
Thank you, guys. There's just a request from our end. Looks like the first question in the feedback poll was incorrect. I'll just quickly launch the poll again, and we'll just do that for 1 minute, and then we can close it. Really appreciate that. Thank you.
Guys, so yeah, while that is being done, so if anyone has any research ideas in cybersecurity, AI, blockchain, or any tech stack, and if you are stuck and want any help or guidance, or like how to process with the idea, and or if anyone want to file a patent as well, GITAM actually, I believe, has like a faculty who can support you if you want to file patents. I am expecting more patent students who file patents, and more entrepreneurs from GITAM. So if anyone has any ideas and needs some help, feel free to reach me at any time through my LinkedIn channel or email. So I will be really happy to help you or guide you in whatever technical stuff you require. Thank you.
Sure, we'll share your request forward to many students.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, we'll end the poll soon. So kindly guys, if you still have any feedback or any thing you want to share with us, any suggestions from your side, please do mail to dor@gitam.edu. We'll definitely reply and try our best to put that up in the next coming session as well. Thank you so much for attending, guys. Thank you so much.